Hi, welcome to my channel. Today I am going to be continuing the family tradition of making chili for Halloween. So I'm going to be making it today and then I'll be able to reheat it the day of, so it'll be really easy to just heat up on the day of Halloween. My mom has been making us this for Halloween for as long as I can remember. I cannot remember a Halloween that I did not have chili on the day. I texted her this morning and had her send me the recipe that she has been using all this time, and I am going to recreate it. I'm also going to be making some cornbread because what's chili without cornbread? I also heard that some people have different things to go with their cornbread if they're from different parts of the country. So if you have anything different, let me know. I'm interested to see what other things people have with chili. I've heard some people have like peanut butter and jelly. I've never once had that. So it's kind of interesting to see what the regional differences could be. So first, you are going to want to take out a pound of hamburger and brown that. Get that in there. And then I'm just gonna start to break that up and get that cooking. Once it gets going a little bit and it's all broken up, I will add some of my onions and peppers. Would you consider chili a soup or just a like one pot meal? I don't know what to consider it. It doesn't have any chicken broth or any kind of broth in general, so I don't know if I'd consider it a soup, but I'll probably put it in with the rest of my soup recipes just because it's in the similar vein. But what would you say? Is it a soup or is it something else? Not sure. Okay, that is starting to look good. So it is time to add my onions. So I have one onion and then some bell peppers. I have a mix of red and yellow, but you can really use any color pepper you like. And then we're gonna mix that up and get that softening too. We'll use the grease from the hamburger to saute it. Okay, this is starting to look good. So I am going to add in my garlic. I have 2 cloves of garlic. And again, you wanna mix that in. Okay, this is starting to smell very fragrant, the garlic. So I'm going to add in my seasonings. So first you want your chili powder, and I am going to add in 2 tablespoons. You can add in 2 to 3 tablespoons. I'm going with 2 tablespoons because the canned chili that I have already has some of that chili flavor, so I don't want to overpower it. I can always add more later if I need it. 1, 2, and then you're gonna want 1/2 teaspoon of ground cumin. There we go. So that is all that was in the traditional recipe that my mom was making for the longest time. But then in the past few years, she started to add a couple more things just to give it a little bit of a deeper flavor. So I like to add as well 1 teaspoon of cocoa powder and 1 teaspoon of espresso powder. You can add 1 or both or neither, but I really like how it brings out some extra richness in the meal. I like to add it, but like I said, if you don't have any on hand, you can skip it. The regular recipe did not have that in the first place. We've just started adding that in the past few years, and it is really good. This is smelling so good. Our final step is to add the beans and the canned tomatoes. So I have a mixed chili beans, and this has dark kidney beans, pinto beans, and black beans with a chili sauce. We're gonna add this one. All of it out of there. And then I have this chili beans that have just red beans and chili sauce. We're gonna add that one too. I always stop and get canned stuff at different points in time, so most of my cans are different brands, but they will all work together perfectly fine. And then you need 2 cans of diced tomatoes. You wanna add in all the sauce too. I don't drain it ever, just to get all that tomatoey flavor. And then you mix that all together. Make sure everything is all incorporated. This is looking so good. Brings back all the memories of trick-or-treating when I was a kid. Okay, so that is all well combined. So what I'm going to do now is just turn that to a simmer and put on the lid. And I'm just gonna let that simmer for a while. And in the meantime, I am going to get started on the cornbread. Our cornbread is also gonna be really easy to make. I am going to be using a Jiffy box mix to do it for the most part, but I like to doctor it up a little more than what the instructions say on the back. So what I do is first get 2 tablespoons of butter melted down. Then you are going to add, let's do my egg since it's running away. 1 egg, 1/2 cup of sour cream, a whole can of creamed corn, do a 1/2 teaspoon of sugar. This is optional. If you don't want it any more sweet, don't add it, even though it's not that much. And we're gonna mix that all together. that gets well combined. Make sure the egg is getting broken up. Okay, that is looking good. And then we're gonna add in our full box of Jiffy mix. There we go. We're gonna mix that all together too. Kind of just folding it in to get it all incorporated. That is looking great. So now we are going to add it into my 8x8 greased. Don't forget to add grease. You don't want it sticking to your pan. All of that in there. This just really keeps it from getting really dry, and the extra corn makes it even more corn forward. And you just want to make sure it is all flat. And it should look something like this, and we're gonna put it in the oven for 30 minutes. The oven is at 400 degrees. So we're gonna check on that and the chili in about 30 minutes, and then we're gonna give it a taste test. Okay, it is time for the taste test. First, I'm gonna dish everything up. So I'm gonna get a little bit of cornbread. Ooh, that looks delicious. You can really see it steaming. It does not look dry at all, which is a good sign. And the chili. Turned out great too, and it's the perfect consistency. There's a little bit of liquid, so it's not a crazy amount. So here is my traditional Halloween meal. I'm very happy that I can continue to keep this tradition alive, and let's give it a taste. Here's a closer look. Okay, so first let's try the chili, the star of the show. Do a little bit of everything. Yep, just how I remember. For toppings, I usually do cheese and sour cream, but for this taste test, I just wanted to taste the chili alone, so later I'll add on the cheese and the sour cream. But just plain, it is also amazing. It has a rich flavor, especially with that cocoa powder and espresso powder. It adds a lot more richness to it, and the tomatoes are delicious, as well as all the beans, and the seasonings turned out perfectly. Yeah, it has a fantastic flavor. And like I said, it brings me back to childhood, which is always fun. So I'm very happy with the chili. And it comes together super fast. It's been maybe an hour and a half since I started this, and it is ready to go. So even if you're making it the day of on Halloween, you can get it ready to go really quick, and it also feeds a lot of people. Okay, let's try the cornbread. That is delicious too. It has the perfect amount of sweetness that really balances out the chili. So it's nice to have the sweet with the savory. And the cream corn adds a delicious flavor to it as well, and it keeps it from really drying out. Ever since I found this recipe, I've been making it this way because it just makes it so good. And now I'm gonna try, get a little bit of the cornbread, get some chili. Nope. I just love the way that these balance out together. It is so good. And there is a reason why we make it every year. It is delicious. And it's perfect for this time of year. Just gets you in the cozy spirit. Let me know down below if you have any family traditions that you do around Halloween. It's always so fun to hear different people's experiences and what their family likes to do. So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next video. So good.